Let's go over some examples of big data. Amazon, Netflix, and Spotify are 3 companies heavily relying on big data techniques to enhance their customer experience. They all use recommendation engines to recommend customers new articles, movies, or music. The companies collect customer data to make predictions on whether you will like a certain product or not. These datasets are huge, and calculating this requires a lot of memory and processing power. Spotify is a heavy user of Hadoop, and you'll be able to find insights on their blog. You can find it at labs.spotify.com. Apps like Uber and Halo are dealing with a very high concurrency of events that need to be processed in a short time frame. This is a very good example of velocity. Geodata is sent by the cell phone to the Uber or Halo servers and needs to be processed within milliseconds to make the application work. Geodata is going from the taxi drivers to the customer who are seeing the taxis on their app. When the customer decides to order a taxi, the closest taxi needs to be found and contacted. When the taxi accepts, the fastest route to the customer has to be calculated and updated constantly. Both companies have distributed systems in place to handle this kind of data. Google Now and Apple Siri have the ability to quickly process and interpret voice data. The type of algorithms they use is called deep learning. They often use neural networks, which is an algorithm that mimics how the human brain works, using multiple layers to make a decision. To do this kind of learning and processing, they need a massive amount of processing and storage. The algorithms also get retrained constantly, using new data to make the algorithms better at predicting what words you are saying. Tesla's autopilot function is an example of processing unstructured data. The camera data is interpreted to create computer vision. The sensors and cameras in Tesla cars can interpret traffic signs and lane markings. If you haven't seen this yet, I recommend you to check YouTube and search for Tesla Autopilot to see how it works. The New York Stock Exchange and Bloomberg also process a lot of financial data. Trades generate terabytes of data each day. Google is one of the companies that has been working with big data already for a long time. Google Analytics is a piece of software that will give you insights to visitor data of websites. If you have a website, you probably have this already installed on your website to get some insights of who is clicking where on your website or to see where visitors come from. This is an example of processing log data. Websites generate log data that can be processed to get some useful information out of it. Google is doing this on a massive scale for millions of websites. It will do this in batch and real time. Google will run a batch job that will update the dashboard once every half hour, for example, but it also has real-time capabilities. You can see, for instance, the live visits on your website using a real-time dashboard. Also, intelligence agencies are gathering and processing a lot of data. Some big data tools are even open sourced by the NSA. The most common example for intelligence agencies is graph data. An example of graph data can be modeling friends on Facebook, as you can see on the slide. Person A has a friend B, and B has a friend C. Graph data can give you insights in how people are connected to each other. You will see in this course some technologies that are specifically designed to handle graph data.